Alright, what's up guys? Josh here again with Andy.
Hey guys.
And we're getting into this one a little late. This is actually game 2. Abstract or Zach is down 1-0 against Affinity.
Yeah, this looks like a really tough match for Zach at first glance at his deck list. Affinity's just so explosive, and Zach's a little bit more of a controlling build. Takes a bit of time to build up, so he does have a bit of game against him, though, post sideboard. He's got 1 Serenity, and he's got 2 Thalias, which will probably come in and be quite good against Affinity. But not a ton.
Yeah, and everything's already come down for NCSU right here, so...
Yeah. Well, Zach could outlive this if he gets a Serenity down here next turn.
Yep.
But that's pretty much about all he could do. I don't even think a Tinker and a Blightsteel here is going to be enough to...
Yeah, that would be close at least.
Yeah. What could Zach do here?
I mean, he's got Swords to Plowshares, doesn't he? So...
Yeah. Oh, nice, Zach.
There's the 1 Serenity.
That is great.
And it is just 1, isn't it?
1 in the sideboard. I don't think he's running 1 main. That would be odd if he was.
Yeah, as far as I know, he only has 1, so I'm assuming he's only playing 1.
Oh, most excellent, Zach. He could not have done a better play there.
So he's going to take 6 here, but...
6 is just a pittance compared to what he would have. I mean, it was just game if he didn't have that, pretty much. So now, this is the type of game Zach needs to get in control here. He's wiping the board and resetting the slate, and he's got a couple lands now with the work.
Yeah, he probably needs like a Swords to Plowshares in his hand still for the follow-up play.
It's a complement of swords. Yeah, he runs 4 Swords to Plowshares main, so that's pretty good against Affinity.
And he's got Snapcasters, so he can double up on their use.
Too bad he doesn't have that 1 Wasteland in his hand, because that would be pretty much a good game for NCSU.
Oh, that's tough.
Yep, that's not good. But he's run out of speed here, so the longer this goes, the far better it is for Zach. Will we see a Brainstorm here? Mystical Tutor. Brainstorm. So what would be ideal for Zach here? If he get himself into a Volt Key combo?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, like Vendilion Click's a good creature if he's going to go beatdown, but I don't think he has time for that.
No, because NSU can just light this up. I mean, now he's got a Mishra Factory, although he's a turn away from activating it. He needs a land to activate it. And he's also got...
You're going to see a Daze here? Oh, a
nice.
Disenchant. That is something you don't see.
Disenchant. Doesn't get classier than that. You don't see that too often in Classic, folks. That was a good play for him, though. I think that was the right card to get rid of, because NSU has so much more gas where creatures are concerned. I think Zach only has 8 creatures in total in his deck.
And one of them's a Geist of Saint Traft, which is not going to be very good here.
Terrible.
Thalia would be quite good for him to get out there now with the first strike.
Thalia would be a house. What he doesn't want to see here is a Ravager. Oh, that's pretty good against Zach, too.
There's no land to activate Factory right now. So he's just taken 2.
That's huge. That's more than enough time for Zach to get back into this. You know, Zach could also actually just Snapcaster into play not playing anything here and just blocking the Frogmite. That would be a reasonable play here.
Oh, there's a land.
Yeah. And he's got lots of life to boot here, so he's going to put a lot of pressure on Zach here. Uh-oh.
Metamorph the Thorn?
No, he'll do the Frogmite. Absolutely.
Now he has no choice.
Yeah. I mean, that Thorn is still going to be a pain in the butt for Zach if he gets two of them down here, which I suspect he will. Too bad he can't get another factory down. If he could only activate that factory, he could make a second factory, and that would pretty much seal it.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily, but it would certainly put Zach in a far more awkward position than he's in right now. More so than having two Thorns on the table.
Oh, he activated it with itself, I guess. Yeah, that's a good play.
That's an excellent play. I wasn't even thinking that way. Well done, NSU.
So he's got a 3-turn clock.
Yep. Let's see what Zach can do.
This is third brainstorm.
So for the viewers that haven't seen Zach's deck list, he's actually running a toolbox style deck. It's got all sorts of little goodies in this thing, little one-offs. He's got Sensei Tops, Soul Rings, Time Bolt, Tinkers, Vindicates, Voltaic Keys, Yogwill.
I wonder if he's got a Tinker.
Well, he does have a Tinker.
But I mean, in his hand, because he's chosen to play that Mana Crypt there.
That could be. Maybe he's going to get a Jace out. That wouldn't be very good. But it's getting desperate here.
Yep, there's a Tinker.
Nice.
So
Well,
NCSU can still top deck a Metamorph here.
I would say the odds are not very good at that. That is most excellent.
He's got 1 turn of blocking.
Back into that with his factories.
That won't do it.
I think Zach might get this one.
He does have to use up a factory, because Memnite is not big enough.
Yeah. That is a good point. Zach just played that perfectly. That is what you call timing. From that Serenity down to that playing the Mana Crypt into the Tinker.
I call it luck.
Call it what you will. He's a clanmate. We call it skill.
He's going to minimize his poison here, but takes an awfully tough creature to not taking another 3 poison.
It's now or never for Mr. NSU. Yeah, good game, Zach. Well done.
Alright. Alright guys, here we are for game 3. Looks like NCSU is mulled down to 6.
Yeah, that was an excellent game, that last one by Zach. He just seemed to have everything at the exact right time he needed to have it. If he didn't have it at that exact moment, he was pretty much dead. It's just an example of, Affinity is just such an explosive deck that if you can neuter it after its explosiveness, it has trouble keeping up. One example there.
So this could be another interesting game. Okay, there we go.
Now we're talking. Zach actually has 1 wasteland in his deck, and that was it. So, fortunately, NSU did have another land and got out one of the worst cards you could be seeing.
Ooh. A non-color producing land there.
Steel Overseer. Yeah, this doesn't bode well. Maybe he's got the Serenity in his hand. just playing possum with his Riptide. This is going to get ugly fast.
I mean, if he does have the Serenity, that could pretty much do things here.
That's pretty good.
Taking one a turn. Oh boy.
He just keeps it coming here. One card in hand for NSU, but just played a Ravager. Oh, there you go. Dark Confident by Zach, which is a dangerous card to be playing, but it's going to give him some gas. But he's basically got this turn to dig out of this, Josh.
Yep. And he may have a Serenity.
Well, he would have played it last turn, I'm almost sure of it, if he had it. He really needs to draw it here. Now he can return his Dark Confident to his hand.
Yeah.
If it,
It's not going to work against the swarm of affinity creatures.
well, what I was meaning in the event that he got a Serenity and wiped his board out, because he's going to be down in critical life after this next attack, he can return that Dark Confident back to his hand.
Yeah, that's true.
If he did have the right mana, he's only facing down one creature, he could just stonewall that creature, return it to his hand. Not efficient, not going to win it for him. But the Riptide Laboratory is pretty good tech when you're running Snapcasters. But it's obviously a much later game. You know, coming into this, looking at the two decks, I mean, I would have gave the definitive edge to Affinity in this one.
Yeah, it's just got so many creatures.
Yeah. Control builds take time to build up your board, and Affinity is about as fast as it gets for a beat up.
And Zach's got more of the one-to-one removal type deals.
And he's done well this game on.
Much better at facing down a Tarmogoyf or something.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
So what does he get?
Oh, Serenity, naturally. He's going to chump block here on the Ravager. He's going to sack everything to the Ravager for one big blow. So he'll be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. And yeah, Zach's going to get a Serenity down. So I think Zach might have stabilized here.
Now, if he has an artifact in hand, he may go for a Blightsteel with a Tinker.
I don't think Blightsteel's the way to go right here.
His only problem is he does actually have to win, and there's a, Affinity's just going to keep putting down creatures.
Yeah, he's only got one card in his hand here, so he didn't play anything last turn, so it's probably a land.
Except the Memnite.
Or it could very well be something like a Postal Golem. I don't know why it's a big decision. I think he's got to play Serenity.
Well,
so does Serenity work here, Josh? Am I missing something? So he's cast this now. It's going to go back to NSU. NSU is going to attack him full out. Whatever he blocks, because Pestermite is going to make the Memnite and the Ravager 2/1s, both of them. So he's going to get hit for 4 damage. He can block one of them, so it's only 2 damage. The Pestermite will do him 1 damage because he can't block it. So that will be 3 damage, unless he sacks to the Ravager. So he's not taking that much damage next turn. So he's probably going to go to 8, potentially 6. Serenity is going to be on top of his library.
No, it's going to be in his hand. Whatever he takes will be in his
I,
hand.
yeah, I'm just thinking vampiric tutor here.
Well, I
So
think he's probably. I would guess he's considering between Tinker and Serenity. That would be my guess. Otherwise, it's not a big. If he doesn't have an artifact in hand, I don't think this is a big decision.
yeah,
He's considering whether he can actually win the game after he Serenities in enough time before NCSU builds back up.
yeah, yeah. It's a very difficult decision. I'm just trying to envision what a blight steel is going to do in this situation, and I think
Well, he can block.
it puts him on the ropes a little bit. Whereas a Serenity will reset the board, and Zach has to draw into something.
I just don't know who's likelier to draw into something.
Well, I would say likely an NSCU
Yeah,
for board threats.
that would be my concern. If it was me, I would probably go Tinker route if I had the option.
Me, I think I would go Serenity. I think I'd reset the board and take my gamble that way. What will be interesting here is if you did go for the Serenity and he blocks here with his Dark Confidence, I'm assuming that NSCU is going to sacrifice the creature that he blocks to his Ravager. Or sack his Ravager if that's the one that gets blocked to move it over. So that way his Dark Confident won't die. Thus it will be dealing Zach more damage.
And he can just put all the counters on the Signal Pest, can he? So that he has an unblockable guy?
Yep.
So, depending on if he can drop a couple artifacts, doesn't look like he's playing anything before combat.
So that's exactly what Zach's done. So he's going to sacrifice his Mox Opal here to the Ravager, I would assume, for fear of Serenity and getting the extra damage through. Making it a 3-3. Probably,
Well, it would be a 3-2, so it would still die.
yeah. So the best play would be to sacrifice the Mox Opal to the Arcabound Ravager, and then sacrifice the Ravager itself, moving it over to the Sigil Pest.
Yep.
That gets through the most damage. Oh, he decided. Interesting.
Let it die. Traded.
He must have himself a lodestone in hand. Didn't want to sacrifice his Mox Opal. He wants the mana. So what is attack? Is it Serenity or is it Tinker? Or neither? You got something we're not seeing here?
It's a Geist of Saint Draft.
I don't think so.
Oh, he didn't play anything.
I'm confused. What could he have done? He may have a Vendilion click here. That's what he's gonna done. He's got a flyer. He's got a Vendilion click. He's gonna flash. That's my bet.
Maybe he's got a Swords in hand, too, to deal with something else.
Yeah, could be. He's coming. Uh-oh. There you were. I was right. We have a Lodestone Golem.
What's in his graveyard?
He's got a sword.
Yeah.
Okay. And Derek Jeter. Okay. Now he's waiting his hand. Now he's waiting for Serenity. Take one.
Jace?
That would be most excellent. It looks
Some
like
batter. Oh, yeah, Jace.
Oh my. Shuts off his Mox Opal.
Yeah.
I think this might be enough, boys.
Well, he's got a long ways to go with 4 life.
Jace the Mind Sculptor. Bird Advantage Supreme. I mean, if NSU cannot get that low zone back out there right now, forcing him to bounce it.
Yeah, what's the last card in hand?
That doesn't do anything at the moment. Does he have anything that he can get out there? Still, Mox Opal is not turned on. Even one brainstorm here could be tremendous for Zach. Zach has been playing uphill this entire match.
Oh, he chose to use his wasteland.
Seems odd. He must have another land in his hand. It's the only thing that makes any sense.
He's got a soul ring.
Tinker.
Vindicate. That is sweet.
Oh, excellent. Then a wasteland. Oh my goodness.
That's going to get him some Jace activations.
Yeah, jeez. That was just excellent. Well, I hate to be that guy and jinx Zach here, but I think he pretty much has this one locked up right now. That's going to be very difficult for NSU to come back from that. Zach's brain's going to get at least 2 more brainstorms. And Tolarian Academy is basically a dead card. Got 1 man on the table right now. Maybe a factory would be good for NSU right here. Small plan.
Misstep? Yeah.
I don't know if I would have misstepped that.
Well, he wants to keep him off mana from the academy.
That's a good point.
Fate seals him.
Fate seal.
Oh, he's got his own brainstorm, that's why. Needs a Delver or something to put some pressure on here. Actually, now Geist of St. Traft would be pretty good.
Whatever. It's like Zach was saying on YSO that day. He's got so much removal in his deck that he can justify playing a Geist of St. Traft, and this is an example right here. I mean, even if somebody plays something, if NSU plays something down like a Lodestone, Zach can just bounce that thing, or he's got Swords to Plowshares to remove them, just opening the way for the Geist of St. Traft.
Oh, Yogwill.
Oh, Yogma's Will. What's he got in that graveyard? Oh, Demonic Tutor and a Vampiric Tutor.
He
so
went
he can actually go get the key here.
He wastelanded. He can Vindicate. It doesn't look like he has mana to Vindicate anymore. He'll probably Demonic Tutor.
Maybe he's got one of the pieces in his hand, because he could actually Vampiric Tutor and Demonic Tutor there.
He's got a Soul Ring, so probably Tinker, I would think. So, a good Yogg will.
That'll do it.
We don't even get to see what he got. Yeah, he should have sacked the Ravager.
Yeah, that was a peculiar play because he didn't really want to kill the Dark Confidant, in my opinion.
Yeah, he wanted to.
Confidant was going to be doing him damage in addition to what he was doing. So
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
yeah, good games, guys, and good luck next round.